views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, and welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Kicking things off, we share details behind Urban Word NYC, creating writing programs and workshops for students throughout New York City. And we'll be joined by one of hip-hop's pioneers, the Godfather of freestyle himself, Sal Abbatiello, to talk all things Forever Freestyle at Lehman Performing Arts Center for a 12th year. And after that, we'll sit down with an interior architect who will give us some home styling tips along with trending home decor for our, well, hopefully soon, spring season. And then we'll learn all the details inspiring this year's Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen Volume 11, fresh, fearless, and woke, when we chat with co-founder Kathleen Adams. And later on, Bobby C gives us the latest in sports. And finally, this week's Open Artist Spotlight shines on songstress Carla G singing with soul for us later in the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. That's right. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Snapchat, Insta Stories, LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So, Urban Word NYC, it's a literary arts organization that serves more than 25,000 aspiring writers throughout New York City. And through their programs and workshops, the organization is dedicated to helping the youth achieve artistic excellence. And joining us to tell us more about the organization and upcoming poetry slams, we welcome Urban Word NYC Youth Engagement Coordinator, Shannon Matesky.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
You look like you could be in high school yourself.
I appreciate that.
So it's no wonder, I'm sure you make a great coordinator.
Thank you.
And so let's talk a little bit about how you guys even enroll, a little bit about your job, your actual position, because it's a very fascinating job.
Yeah, no worries. I'm Youth Engagement Coordinator, which really just means that I get a lot of direct action with our young people. I help run our youth board. So we have a young youth board of about 15 people that we train to be mini producers, and then they help throw our internal events. So we throw internal events, and then we throw large-scale events that really get to showcase our young people as well. But the way that we recruit and get young people involved is that we throw these events, we make sure that they invite their friends, their homies, we invite our school partners, and then we make sure that everybody applies online and registers online to our in-house workshops. And then we also send our teaching artists out into the public schools all across New York to spread the word about Urban Word.
So how do you select the schools, and how does this even happen? You know, like, is there a time? Is it an after-school program? Is it during their lunch hour? Is it that you seek these individuals within writing classes? How does that work?
In a way, it's a bit of an exchange. There's so many diverse needs across the city of New York that sometimes it is an after-school program, sometimes it is internally within an English class. It's really dependent on what each school needs. We work with middle school as well as high school. So we have a middle school equality initiative initiative, and we teach young people in middle schools how to write poetry, as well as the high schoolers. And then we also have our on-site programming. So after school, if young people want to come to our services, they can come join us at the office, kick it, and write some poems.
Which is where? The actual offsite?
Yeah, our office is right off of Union Square on 19th and 5th Avenue.
Nice. That's a nice location too.
It's pretty
All right,
dope.
but you're throughout certain schools within the tri-state area, right? And I love just what I heard, the levels, right? So you
Yeah.
have the older generation or the generation that may be more interested in production, kind of leading the way in setting up the actual presentations as well, which is fascinating. It's not just writing.
Yeah, we have a lot of aspects to what goes into, you know, literary arts and literary presenting. So some of our young people are mini producers, and they help throw the events. A lot of pretty much everybody is writers, including the staff, so that's a really good application that you see writers directly across the table from you as administrators. Then we also have the young people who focus mostly on the poetry slam, and then we also have a program called the Youth Poet Laureate, which focuses on the literary writers, and that those young people are also involved in a national competition of literary writers. So anything to get the young people really elevated in their writing skills and capacity. And then we also are rooted in a hip hop pedagogy, so that we also opened up a studio in our offices, and we have the young MCs, so they come through and you know, do their thing.
That's hot, and you guys are all like national champions, right?
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about the poetry slams and how people qualify for that, and how they're able to tour with you guys, and of course the events that are coming up. There's some nice stuff coming up.
So we have an annual poetry slam. We're now in our 20th year. Young people register online. We try to get a minimum 100 people from across the city. So 100 individuals. They come from Jersey, they come from the Bronx, all over. We have 4 preliminary slams. So these young people compete Olympic style in the preliminary slams. Then 10 people from each slam advance to the semifinals, and then 5 people from each of those semifinals go off to the Apollo, and that's our Grand Slam finals. If you make the Apollo and make the team, there are 5 people that make the team. They go off to represent New York for the Brave New Voices International Team Poetry Slam, which changes locations every year. So just like you said, New York's been top ranked in the nation for the past very long time, top 5. So
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's awesome, which obviously means that, you know, there's a movement going on here with the next generation having their voices heard and being a stand and representing us as a multicultural city.
Yes, young people in New York really have something to say, especially because they're coming from a lot of different perspectives. So that's really powerful to see.
Yeah, and so how does this keep you young, right? Because I swear you look like a teeny bopper yourself. I'm looking at you. I'm like, yeah, I want your job.
Thank you. Well, I was a youth poet myself. I've been in the game since I was a teenager, now an adult. So in a way, it's passing the torch. And the young people keep you young, you know? We really do believe in direct service and direct action. So we participate and hold down their open mics. We have a weekly open mic every Tuesday in our office. It's called First Draft. And again, the young people come in, they want to share music with you. They want to rap about poems, and it keeps you fresh and young.
That's what's up. I love it. Isn't there another event that I know we got the Apollo coming up, and then there's something going on with the Point, right?
Yeah,
at the
so
Point,
one
here
of
in
our,
the BX.
Exactly. So one of our preliminary slams is going to be at the Point. It's on Monday, March 12th. So again, our preliminary slams is the first step to the competition. So if you come and check that out, you'll be able to watch a young person's journey.
That's what's up. All right, so are there any last words for anybody who may be interested in joining with you guys?
Well, a big thing is that most of our services are free. Pretty much everything that we offer on site, from a workshop to an open mic, all of those services are free. So any young person from across the city should definitely come kick it with us.
Oh, I love that. Free is my favorite word.
You
It
know?
is my favorite word.
Exactly.
And so do they have to qualify in order to be part of the free workshops, or
No.
it's just offered to everybody?
It's offered to everybody. So every season we change up our workshop. So this season we had an MC workshop, and then we also had a workshop called Slam School. Next season there's going to be 2 other offerings of workshops. But we want every young person to, you know, amp up their literary skills. So we encourage everybody to come out. You're up against yourself, and you're up against your peers trying to be the best of the best.
That's what's up. And so obviously we just shared a lot of information, but they can find all of this on the website, right?
Sure can.
Okay, so you guys, once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon, you guys, for more information on Urban Word NYC and their upcoming poetry slams, make sure you visit urbanwordnyc.org is something you definitely should take advantage of. Once again, go to urbanwordnyc.org. Okay, we're taking a quick break, but coming up, we'll get the behind-the-scenes scoop for this year's freestyle concert with Sal Abbatiello. Don't go anywhere.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too while you're there at Rhina Valentin. So our next guest is a living legend. We got him right here in studio. He's a hip-hop pioneer. He's discovered many rappers and DJs such as Grandmaster Flash, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, and that's just to name a few. And for 30 years, he's been putting together freestyle concerts, and he's back here with us to tell us firsthand what we can expect for this year's Forever Freestyle concert. Numero 12. Ouch. Please welcome the godfather of freestyle, Mr. Sal Abbatiello.
What up, baby?
What up?
Hey, hey.
Oh my gosh. You are one of the most fascinating individuals I have ever met. I mean, do you ever sleep?
Came straight here from Long Island last night.
You came straight here from Long Island.
Yeah, we had Judy Torres out there.
Yeah, I saw that actually. You live streamed it.
I saw
Yeah,
you.
I stopped by just to say,
saw you
hey,
peeking.
for a little bit. Yeah, because you guys just don't stop. And I really admire the fact that, okay, so giving myself up, right, and shouting my age out a little bit, I just love how you've been able to preserve freestyle music as an urban classic. And so let's just give everybody a little bit of background of your origins in case they're just familiarizing themselves with who you are, Mr. Sal Abbatiello.
Well, born in the Bronx, boogie down, Gun Hill Road, went to Immaculate Conception in Gun Hill Road, went to All Hallows High School, and we opened up our first club in 1969 on Williamsbridge Road in the Bronx. It was a disco called the Playhouse. And then I found rap in the street. We had a jazz place on 167 Jerome. My family did called Salt and Pepper, and used to get all the big jazz artists. And we decided to open up a disco back in when John Travolta was out with that movie Saturday Night Disco Fever. So we named the club Disco Fever. We opened it up. I was introduced to rap in the street. I knew it was going to be the next new big thing because it was second and third generation, R&B and from jazz, and this was their new music, the new generation in the 70s. So I saw hip hop. I went out to look for the most influential kids in the street, and I bumped into Grandmaster Flash and Lovebug Starsky and Curtis Blow, and I brought them all indoors, and Run DMC did their first show there, and then they made the movie Crush Groove, and look at hip hop today. It's 40 years strong and the biggest music in the world.
Wow. Wow. And so that's that version of it, right? And then now there is this fusion version of it, which you would consider, was considered Latin hip hop,
Right.
which is how freestyle was developed, right? So let's talk about how that came into fruition.
So the Fever was open from 77 to 86. And like 85, 84, you know, hip hop's like going all around the world. It's in downtown at Roxy's and all these big clubs, Webster Hall. So, you know, the fever was falling off a little bit in its 9th year. I mean, we're open 7 nights a week. And we had a Latin club on Tremont and Webster called Voices, and another club called Elegante. And I was in the park wondering what, you know, because the fever was going to get closed up for no cabaret license. We were getting, they were doing the movie Crush Groove filming in there. Wasn't it going to be open when the movie came out? So I was sitting in the park and I see all these Puerto Rican kids breakdancing. And I'm sitting there, what am I going to do? And I'm watching the kids. I see this DJ plugged up to the light pole like Grandmaster Flash. And who is it? Little Louis Vega. And then I said, wow, Latin hip hop. I changed the club from Latin to freestyle. There was no records out at the time, but I knew this was going to be the second generation Puerto Rican movement from salsa. These were the children and the nephews and the kids, you know. And I brought it in before the music was made, but this time I made the first record, which was Please Don't Go by Niobe. And it had like a Latin sounding disco, you know, to it. And disco was dying, and this just filled right in, and that was it.
Amazing. Visionary. Visionary. That is amazing. And you know what's even more amazing? That you still actually present Niobe. And these people are still performing these hits, these classics.
Yeah.
And of course, we have another concert coming up. And you guys have been successfully executing here at Lehman Center for the past 12 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, well, the 12th one is
it's the
coming
Bronx,
up.
you know, it's
right.
the home of the Bronx,
Right.
and it belongs here. And it's probably the most sentimental concert out of all of them. All the artists love coming to Lehman.
I know. Well, I know you guys did Radio City not too long ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's amazing. For me, it's phenomenal that the next generation will be able to have a taste of our generation.
Yes.
Even though it was never like rediscovered, right? You just preserved what we had, and somehow it's been able to sustain itself and have a life.
It's become classic now. So when it came out in '84, kind of like died out in '92, '93. We went through a 7-year hiatus. Then in the 2000s, I discovered, you know, like that it's no good for clubs no more because we weren't drawing anybody. But if I put 10 or 12 of the acts together as a unit, they become one headliner. So that's how I fell onto it. And we started with Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods, and then we went to the Garden, 2007. Then we went to Radio City 5 years ago, and you know,
And you still do these venues, except you also have Lehman Center, which you make it convenient.
Well, Lehman is the home.
Lehman
is the home. You know, we did it 12 years ago, and you know, we even do a yearly hip hop, an old school fever reunion hip hop. May 5th, we're doing a hip hop show here. We have Curtis Blow, Rakim, Kool Mo D, Fearless 4. I mean, go on the website, feverrecords.com or Lehman, and you'll see the lineups for May 5th. And this next Saturday, we got our classic
I want to
freestyle
know
show
who's
on the
performing.
3rd. So we got TKA,
Of course,
Judy
Judy
Torres,
Torres.
Cynthia, Johnny O, Suave, Cover Girls, Sweet Sensation, C-Bank, and many, many more. Pretty Poison. There's like 12 or 13 groups. I'll be hosting along with Speedy. And I want to give a shout out to Ava and Janet and all the girls, Naridia and Diane, that work so hard over there. And we put on a great show.
You sure do. It's like, I love attending. It's almost like reliving my teenage years because nobody sits in the seats. Nobody sits in their seats.
4 hours straight standing. And what's great is, you're right, we do have that second generation. They're bringing their children now. So, you know, we have an age bracket from 35 to 55. But yet now I'm noticing a lot of 20-year-olds. I'm noticing couples because nothing ever took its place. Nothing took freestyle's place. So luckily for us, we're blessed. And we're working as if, you know, all the groups are working as if it's like new music.
Yeah, and you're working like you're never going to age.
Yeah, well, you know, we still have our charity foundation. Next Thursday, we do our annual bowling event, and it's for the Puerto Rican Relief Fund, and we donate all the proceeds. So that's the Erica Roman Foundation.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that before we go.
Yeah.
So when's that happening?
So the Erica Roman Foundation was founded by me. I had a foster kid who got killed in a car accident. She was the #1 DJ on the radio station in Orlando, Florida. She was with us, and we sent her over there. She got the job. Unfortunately, she got killed in a car accident when her show went to #1 that day. was the first time the show went to #1. So for the last 9 years, we've had this Erica Roman Foundation, and we raise money for foster children because she was a foster kid, and cancer and breast cancer. And this, but because of Puerto Rico, we've been doing a lot of fundraising for them with Ruben Diaz, the Bronx World President. So all the proceeds from our bowling event next Thursday, which will be at Yonkers Bowling Lanes, right off Yonkers Avenue. And we rent out all the lanes, and we got 20 lanes, and all the money goes, we're going to donate it all to the Puerto Rican Relief Fund.
Is that on your website also?
Yes.
Yeah? All right.
Everything's on feverrecords.com.
Oh my gosh. Sal, bless you, Sal. Thank you. Thank you for being this visionary and presenting it for us here in the Bronx, and for continuing to open up the platforms for more artists and for more people to just create visibility as well as sustain their livelihood.
My heart is in the Bronx. I'm a Bronx boy, and I even own a lounge in the Bronx called Evo Lounge on the old Mi Gente's, which is right off Unionport Road in Parkchester. We've been there 4 years. It's our 4-year anniversary, the night of Lehman. So after Lehman, we all go over to Evo because
Lounge.
that's the anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
It was a grand opening.
I gotta keep up with this.
Hello.
Now. I know. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Holla.
I know. I gotta keep up. Party man, Sal. Woo! He is the living legend right here, El Padrino of Freestyle. Sal Abbatiello, thank you for stopping by and sharing all this with us. You guys, Forever Freestyle number 12. Number 12 is happening on Saturday, March 3rd at 8 p.m. And that is taking place at Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, located at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard. And for more information, you can always visit lehmancenter.org. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll learn some home decor tips when we sit down with an interior architect. Don't go anywhere.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. We're always inviting you to stay connected with us. That's right, by liking us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And so, here you go. Whether you're starting out, right, or starting over, decorating a home, that is, can be very challenging. Trust me, I know. And so having to choose like colors, accessories, and different types of furniture, where does one even begin, right? So you ever wonder which one of those comes first in making those decisions? Well, we're gonna get some tips. We're gonna learn some tips from us for styling a home, along with some home decor for the spring. And we welcome interior architect Aishah Coleman. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fabulous, you know, and I'm going, you know, it sounds so simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's your home,
It's difficult.
it becomes very complicated.
Yes, it does.
And of course, it's because this is the space you have to live in.
Exactly.
But before we go into all of that, let's talk a little bit about how you became the interior architect that you are, because I love your story of the
Thank you.
Bronx and how you were going to rebuild the Bronx, and then it got rebuilt, and then you said, oh, okay.
I'm a Bronx native. I grew up on 167 in Walton Avenue back in the 70s, and I'm going to tell my age a little bit, when it was called the Burnt Out Bronx. And my path to elementary school was passing several abandoned buildings. And when I finally got to high school, I was great at art, and my art teacher said, you should study architecture when you go to college, and that's exactly what I did. I went to City College, so I stayed local, and I have a bachelor's degree in architecture. And at that time, that was in the late 80s, early 90s, so I'm really dating myself. And my goal was to rebuild my borough. This is where I lived. I was born and raised. I still live here. But they did it without me, because Dinkins came in office and he said, this is what we're going to do. So I decided to just say, you know what, let me take my skill sets, let me do a lot of community work. Started working for the City of New York Parks Department, rebuilding playgrounds. Started working with Housing Authority as a project manager, rebuilding a lot of the developments throughout the city. And then went back into the private sector until it was time for me to say, you know what, it's time to branch out on your own so that you can touch individual lives and make their lives better.
And so that's a big deal right there,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Because you said, okay, I'm going to go and earn my living, and which obviously meant I'm going to go work in the commercial market, right? But then you said it's not fulfilling as being in the presence of, I guess, somebody's home or
Yes.
dealing with individuals
Exactly.
personally and making their dreams come true.
Yes.
So how do you balance the two?
I love what I do, and I'm still passionate about it. So the balance comes naturally. It's not a struggle for me. You know, you segregate, this is what I do for my business, this is my home personal life. Sometimes they do fuse together. It's life. People will call you at 8, 9 o'clock at night because they're having a dilemma or they saw something great online and they want to share it with you at that time. But I still am passionate about what I do, and I always tell myself when I get to a point where I don't like it anymore, I'll have to find something to do. But I've been in this industry for 25 years this year, so I'm still here.
It's lovely, and it's lovely that you make it affordable, right?
Yes,
for
I do.
those who are
Yes.
just really looking to, I guess, feel like their home should be in a magazine.
Exactly.
And you can do it at a budget.
You can do it at a budget. You don't have to break the budget. You can actually see these $1 million designs in some magazines and then scale it down to things that you can afford for yourself. There's always a duplicate that's less expensive than instead of a $3,000 headboard, you can find one for $200 or $300 at a local furniture store that's very similar to what you see in the magazines. And our job is to come in, understand the client, who they are, their lifestyles, who's using the space, what they're using the space for, and come up with a design concept that will fit their lifestyles and their needs. Because what I always tell my clients is I can create a beautiful home for you, but at the end of the day, when I leave, you still have to live here. And I want to make sure that the space that you live in is what you wanted.
So I know we had some images. I wonder if we could show some of the images of some of the residential work she's done, just so that you guys can get an idea of what we're referring to. So what we're looking at right now is a kitchen.
That was a kitchen remodel we did in Brooklyn on Cotillion Road. That pass-through was actually a solid wall. And we wanted to create an actual peninsula where it was completely open.
So you
to the
opened up
dining
that
room.
wall.
Yes, but we actually had a plumbing pipe down the wall, so we had to just create a pass-through. But it was, we created more storage space for them. We created a U-shaped kitchen that gave them additional corner storage, new appliances, new flooring, painting, and lighting.
It's beautiful. The stunning. It's stunning. The lighting makes a huge difference. And do we have anything else? Oh, look at this.
This is for one of my local clients, Father Ricardo, at the Catholic Rectory over here on Webb Avenue, actually right across the reservoir from here. He was a newly ordained priest, and they wanted to do something special for him to give him a nice room that's comfortable for him, and that's what we have here.
I kind of almost feel like I'm in Italy, right?
This is for a client of mine here on Harmony Avenue. Same thing. We actually was a gut renovation of the whole home, but we started with the kitchen. Same thing. We opened up the wall to give them access from the dining room into the kitchen.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely. So, okay, so that's like real, like hardcore contracting.
Yeah, those were, except for Father Ricardo's, those were really gut renovations where we rebuilt walls and took walls out.
So now with decorating, especially with the spring coming, we hope. I think
we had a taste of it
I
Wednesday.
know, I was like, can you just stay
exactly.
a
little longer?
How about permanently?
Yes.
Okay, so are there any like spring colors that are this year's these fashionable colors?
Green is really hot right now. Not all shades of green, but more on the pastel sides. Green is very serene and neutral. It gives a calming effect in your space. And you don't have to necessarily paint your walls green, but you can add green decor, whether it's in the bedding, if it's throw pillows, if it's a throw, maybe an area rug, candles. So you can always bring in specks of spring or the hottest color trends, but you don't have to break the bank doing it. So it's always little things that you can do to bring it into your home to follow what's hot.
So that brings me to the question we originated this whole segment with, and that is, what comes first? How do you decide? Let's say, okay, so I'm going to redo this entire room. Does the color of the wall come before the furniture, or how do you do that?
So when I meet with the client, the first thing we do is we come see their space. We look at natural light, how much natural light they have coming in, because that's going to determine the type of lighting fixtures and features that we're going to provide. We look at their space, their traffic pattern, how they move about their space. We also talk about what they intend to do in that space, if it's a living room, if it's going to be a multifunction living room where the children are going to be doing homework and playing games, streaming movies, because that helps determine the design concept. And then if they have furniture, are they going to keep their existing furniture, or are they going to buy new furniture? A lot of times clients will like to keep their existing furniture if it's only a couple of years old. Then the color schemes then starts to manifest after we just determine what is staying and what's going.
So for someone watching right now, what would you like to leave them with this possibility, right? And I say this only because me personally, I'm like, oh yeah, income tax check. All right, time to redo a room, or something.
I always tell my clients, do your homework, because your budget is going to determine what you can do and what you can't do. And you have to be realistic about your budget and how much you want to spend, and how much work do you want us, the designer, to do. How much work do you want them to do? We can create a design package for you, and then they can do it themselves, or you can hire us to do the work for you.
Awesome. So for you, if they wanted to seek your services, where would they go?
They can give us a call at 347-848-1939, or they can contact us on our website, which is www.acdesigndevelopmentcorp.com.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Aishah.
you. It's a pleasure.
Oh, likewise.
Thank you.
And you guys, once again, for consultation or services from Aishah Coleman regarding interior design or decorating services, and that's for residential and commercial and architectural, right? She's got everything. It's like a nice one-stop shop.
Exactly.
You can go to acdevelopmentdesigncorp.com. That's Design Development Corp. Okay, acdesigndevelopmentcorp.com.
Yes.
acdesigndevelopmentcorp.com. All right. We have to take a quick break, but coming up, we get a taste of this year's Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen event. That's Volume 11. You won't want to miss. Stay there.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too while you're there at Rhina Valentin. All right, so this year's Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen celebrates 11 years of empowering women. That's right. The event is dedicated to showcasing women artists, especially women of color, and it also focuses on issues that affect women in their communities, such as HIV/AIDS and reproductive justice. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen co-founder Kathleen Adams. Hello and welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
Welcome. You are bright and shining this morning.
I'm rocking this pink today.
As is the flyer this year.
Well, that's why I wanted to come bright and powerful, because this flyer is so woke. I guess that's
Yeah,
the
no,
right word.
well,
I was
you were
yeah,
like,
I was
what's the word? I want them to see what we're talking about, right? Because it's like really vibrant. It's vibrant, and so is that blouse. Look at that. That's vibrant, and it definitely represents being woke, right? We've got a lot of political topics going on with women issues. We've got Me Too. We've got Time's Up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, not that that's what this is about, but I'm sure it's going to be incorporated in there because you guys always tap into every topic that is pretty much the discussion of the year.
Well, actually, yeah, you're actually pretty much correct with that. When Latere, my co-founder, and I were discussing, well, what theme do we want? Our themes kind of just emerged by what's going on in the current climate. And yeah, women right now are being really bold. We're tired of being second-class citizens, being poorly treated, whatnot. So we wanted to say, you know what? Yeah, like we're sassy, we're in your face, we're doing this thing. So that's how we came up with Fresh, Fearless, and Woke. So the Time's Up movement, Me Too, whatnot, it all plays into this. And so this is how we're expressing our how we feel.
No, it's great, right? And I know that because you guys are a little gentler in the way you do it because you have it's a really wide range of different ages. It's intergenerational and multicultural and multi-generational. And so you want to make sure that they absorb whatever it is that you're sending as a message, right?
Exactly.
And you do it in an artistic manner. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen. I'm praising you without even letting you say anything. No, because I think it's so important. And the fact that you offer it for free and thousands show up for this every single year. How you guys do this, it just, I applaud you, and I just bow down to the fact that this is paying it forward for our community.
100%. It feels really good that we're in year 11. Like last year, year 10 was a milestone. And Lana and I don't know when we'll ever stop this. Hopefully we won't. But the fact is we're like 11 years in. It feels like just yesterday. Like, I don't know where time has gone, but the community really supports this. As mentioned, over 1,000+ people come every year to our annual showcase. This year it's Saturday, March 3rd at the Hosto Center for Arts and Culture. And I'm really excited this year because we really wanted to bring in some new talent. So this year we have Harlem Cheer. It's a young women and young girl cheerleading squad based in Harlem, and they'll be doing their thing. So
when you say young, are you referring to like high school students?
Middle school.
Middle
even
school,
lower.
that's, wow, you're getting younger.
Exactly.
I mean, the only one that I recall being very young is Nene, and Nene's grown now.
Yes.
So now you got to bring in some youngins again.
Exactly, but it's so great because the young people actually help us keep this movement going. We as adults know what these issues are, and we're more like daily reading about articles and seeing what's up in the climate. But young people who come to our showcase are really inspired, and we feel like they're the custodians in helping us keep this movement going forward. Like, we're not getting any younger, but they have young energy and young voices who can really help us spread our messaging.
Yeah, not only that, it's more relatable to the next generation, right? Because my daughter's been going there since she was young, and now she's at an age where she's going to understand better, right?
Exactly.
And they're able to really hold their attention when it's somebody in their age bracket for some reason.
100%. So that's why we're really excited. So we've got Harlem Cheer as like young people representing. Of course, Nene Ali, who has been with us since I believe age 10 or 11, who keeps us going, who's a fabulous spoken word poet as well as an MC now. Helping us with co-host duties are La Bruja and Rockefeller. You might see them do a little bit of their thing in terms of performance throughout the show, but they're really helping us narrate our story. We have DJ Liquid on the ones and twos. She's normally an MC for us, but she's also an amazing DJ. So really excited to have her keep the show going.
As a DJ, we've had her on the show.
Yeah,
right?
Liquid's amazing.
Yeah.
Lucretia Berry, who is a singer. We have Carla G, who's here today with us. Who'll be performing
in our Open Artist Spotlight.
Exactly.
Looking forward to that.
So really excited about that. We have Next Level and Femme Fatale, which are with Bronx New Settlement Apartments in the Northern Bronx, and they're a community group, and they've been supporting us forever. So they're doing their thing. Plethora.
And then Latere is also coming in from Chicago.
Yeah, so Latere is coming in from Chicago, helping us. Well, she's my co-founder, so not just helping us, but keeping the show going, setting the tone. She really gives such a great motherly vibe and such a powerful spirit that impacts people. So I'm so excited for Volume 11, and we have so much greatness going on for not just this event, but we're trying to continue our programming even more throughout the year. So I always get inspired by watching your show because you have so many great guests. I'm always trying to hit them up and be like, oh, well, I saw you on the Rhina Valentin show, blah, blah, on Open on BronxNet.
Well, that's
so.
the idea, is that we employ each other and that we support each other and that we create a visibility for each other, right? Because artists, that's what artists always want. I mean, we want to get paid, but we also want to be seen.
Exactly, exactly. So it's always great that you're always on the pulse of what's hot and who's doing great work.
Well, I love showcasing artists. I really do. It really fulfills me to be able to be a platform to get people seen, like to be hired by people like yourself, as well as document our history, because that's what's going on here.
It's so important. It's so important. And why we care so much about this, because, you know, March is Women's History Month. And so we like to really kick off the month of great programming, great activities. So I feel like our event is kind of like the staple of how you start March off.
Love it. That's right.
We will never move away from the first Saturday of March.
Yes, and I really appreciate the social relevance in all the work that Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen presents every single year without failure. And of course, you give out free condoms. There's also arts.
Yeah.
There's a huge art exhibit that is like displayed, right?
Exactly. So we ask people to come early. Doors open at 2, shows at 2:30, but the atrium lobby opens at noon. There's amazing vendors. I believe there's like 26 this year or whatnot. You can buy great kente cloth products, earrings, dolls, books, everything.
26 vendors?
Yes.
Wow, so you could just be shopping before you even get to the show.
Literally, and it's all community-based and community-supported, so I really like that.
All right, so what time do you think people should really get there if they're going to...
Get there early, because we're always packed. So doors open at 2 o'clock, shows at 2:30. If you want to come at noon, because that's when the tabling begins. Also, there's free confidential HIV testing provided by Harlem United. So that's something that we really want people to go get tested. It's free, knowledge is power, and we started this event because hip-hop was started in the South Bronx, and also because the rate of HIV in the South Bronx is extremely high, so we wanted to use something positive with a social mission and messaging to combat public health issues.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Woo! Doing that powerful work. My girls, Kathleen and Latere. And once again, you guys, Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen Volume 11, Fresh, Fearless, and Woke. It's happening. It's free, and it's happening on Saturday, March 3rd, between 2:30 and 5. However, we recommend that you get there around noonish because there's a lot of vendors, excuse me, in which you can definitely go and get free HIV testing, and there's free condoms. There's all kinds of free stuff. So make sure you make a day of it. How's that? And that's happening at Hostel Center for the Arts and Culture, and that is located on 149th and Grand Concourse. For more information, you can visit mhhk.org. That's mhhk.org. All right, you guys stay tuned. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We begin our look at sports on the college basketball hardwood, where two locals are making some noise. Right here in the Bronx, the Lehman College men's basketball team is eyeing the CUNYAC crown. The Lightning will play the College of Staten Island tonight at City College. Tip-off is set for 8:30 p.m. Top-seeded Lehman, 22-4, will put its 14-game winning streak on the line as the Lightning seek to win the CUNYAC title for the first time since 2004. Lehman earned its ticket to the final with a 78-55 victory over John Jay. CSI, the number 3 seed, defeated number 2 Baruch 77-67 Tuesday night in the other semifinal. Up north at Purchase College, the second-seeded Panthers down the College of Mount St. Vincent Thursday night and will now host 4th-seeded Yeshiva University Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. The Macs upended top-seeded Farmingdale State in overtime in the other semifinal. Purchase's Nakeem DeLeon, a Bronx native, had 18 points in Thursday night's victory against the Dolphins. In the process, the senior entered the 1,000-point club. Congrats to him. Trivia question: who has the biggest comeback in men's Division I history? The answer: Drexel. Drexel set the men's D1 record for a comeback win Thursday, overcoming a 34-point first-half deficit to beat Delaware 85-83. Delaware led 53-19 with 2:36 remaining in the first half and was up 56-29 at halftime. Drexel owned the second half, and now they own the record for the best comeback in college hoops history. Sports are often filled with comeback stories. The number 3 is number 1 again at Daytona. Austin Dillon won the Daytona 500 on Sunday night, driving the iconic number 3 Chevrolet that the great Dale Earnhardt piloted for most of his career. Earnhardt was behind the wheel of number 3 when he won his only Daytona 500 in 1998 and when he was killed in an accident on the final lap of the race 3 years after that. I had previously picked Dillon to win the 500, but I didn't think he would do it this year. The young driver is finally coming together. He celebrated his victory by getting a tattoo on his butt. Dillon's posterior tattoo included the Daytona 500 logo with the word champ underneath it. Dillon also said that he credited his win to a lucky penny that an 11-year-old fan gave him. Nice story there. The Winter Olympics continues to provide some heroics of its own. The last 12 months have been a roller coaster ride for the United States women's national hockey team, but on Thursday, that ride reached its ultimate peak, an Olympic gold medal. Team USA defeated Canada 3-2 in a thrilling shootout win in South Korea to earn their first gold medal in 20 years. It was the 3rd consecutive Olympics in which the American and Canadian women faced off in the final, and this one came 38 years to the day of the miracle on ice. Team USA will try and pull another upset today in curling against Sweden. That's just can't miss TV curling. In the octagon, the UFC has had some tremendous fight nights of late. Donald Cowboy Cerrone tied the all-time record for UFC victories last Friday night, defeating Yancy Medeiros by first-round TKO in Austin, Texas. The entire evening was filled with great fights. Cowboy helped cap a memorable night. And now I think it's time that we start to add him to the conversation for the best of all time. It's not necessarily what he has accomplished, it's how he has done it. Cerrone became a fan favorite due to his willingness to fight anyone at any time and consistently putting on a show. Speaking of putting on a show, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G will rematch. That is set for May 5th. The Mexican superstar and the middleweight champion will meet for a second time, Golden Boy Promotions announced recently. On the NBA hardwood, the New York Knicks snapped their losing streak Thursday night in Orlando. Trey Burke came off the bench with a season-high 26 points and 6 assists to help the Knicks break an 8-game losing streak with a 120-113 victory over the Magic. Emmanuel Mudiay got the start at point guard. The Orange and Blue will look to keep things rolling. They host Boston Saturday and the Golden State Warriors on Monday. Although Thursday night was a nice performance, don't expect the Knicks to rack up the victories. Instead, fans, whether they want to hear this or not, should hope for losses. The Knicks could use a higher draft choice in their quest to get back to being a true championship contender. Dwight Howard grabbed a season-high 24 rebounds and added 15 points. Bronx boy Kimball Walker scored 31, and the Charlotte Hornets beat the Brooklyn Nets 111-96 on Thursday night. The Nets will now return home from Charlotte to face the Chicago Bulls on Monday night. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. On the baseball diamond, the Boston Red Sox finally got J.D. Martinez in free agency. The move prompted Yankee general manager Brian Cashman to call the Bronx Bombers the little engine that could. Cashman said the Red Sox, not the Yankees, are the favorites for the division. The San Diego Padres inked star first baseman Eric Hosmer to a long-term deal this week. The signing leaves my moniker, the Kansas City Wizard of Haas, in the wind. I'm not sure what I'm going to call Hosmer now that he'll be in San Diego. He should help the Padres improve nonetheless. The Yankees made an under-the-radar move this week. Thank you, Mr. Cashman. Even if you feel the Pinstripers are underdogs, the Yankees traded with Arizona to acquire Brandon Drury. As part of the trade, infielder Nick Solak was sent to Tampa Bay, and right-handed pitcher Taylor Widener was sent to Arizona. To make room on the 40-man roster, outfielder Jabari Blash was designated for assignment by the Yanks. Drury can play second base, but I expect him to be the opening day third baseman, which will allow top prospect Miguel Andujar a little more time to grow. Drury hit .267 with 13 homers last season and is only 25 years old. I love the move. Judge and Drury. On the ice, the New York Rangers have started to make the deals we discussed last time on the show. The Broadway Blue Shirts have traded leading scorer Michael Grabner to the New Jersey Devils for his second-round draft choice and prospect Igor Rykov. And on a final sports roundup note, the Yankees spring training opener is today. The lineup in Florida looks like this: Ellsbury at DH, Stanton in right field, Bird at first, Hicks in center, Didi at short, Torres at second, Romine behind the plate, Andujar at third, and Clint Frazier in left. Baseball is back. Thank you, Lord. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the Brian Cashman, the real Wizard of Oz. You have to feel for the New York Yankees. Their payroll at a little more than $150 million ranks only 8th in Major League Baseball. They're practically a small market team at this point, according to Cash. It's tough to see this group of misfits who just added the National League most valuable player, how they will even compete with the Boston Red Sox this season. They are the American League East champs, so we are not on equal footing, Cashman said, according to the New York Post. We were a wild card. They are the American League East champs, and we are not not on equal footing until we take it from them. The little engine that could, the evil empire that could. The Yankees are back, baby. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. Today's spotlight shines on songstress Carla G, giving us a taste of what we could expect at this year's Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen. Here to perform Money Don't Rule Me, let's welcome Carla G.
You got to get into it a little bit. I don't wanna go to work today, but they seem to make me stay for the paycheck that I just don't like. I think I got some spine. I don't understand why it's gotta be this way. 'Cause money seems to be the only way of living. Because money don't rule me. No, no, no. So money, you don't rule me. No, 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 no. Because money money don't rule me. No, no, no. So money, you don't rule me. No, 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 no. I got $2 to my name. Ain't that a shame? Don't wanna be a slave to the man, eating out the palm of his hand. So money, you don't rule me. No, 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 no. So money, you don't rule me. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. So remember, money is just a thing. It's just paper. It's just paper. So don't let that thing rule you. Money don't rule me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Money don't rule me. No, no, no.
I was like rocking it in. That's it. Lovely, lovely. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, sometimes you have to be reminded.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a mic on,
Oh,
so if you
sometimes.
don't. Yeah, so once again, thank you.
Thank
we were
you.
able to salvage your voice for this morning, right? Because I know you were
yes.
performing last night.
Yes.
And you're going to be
Yes.
performing at Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen.
Yes.
You have any words for our viewers?
So, yes.
Well, because I know you perform a lot, right?
I do. I think that honestly, what you should do is to remind yourself. I chose that song because a lot of times we are living in this world where we revolve ourselves around money.
Right.
And status and all that other type of stuff. And so I just want to remind everybody that that's not what life is about. It's about cherishing good moments. And
Keep the mic,
cherishing good moments and meeting good people and making sure that you're making a difference in the world. And that's why Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen is an amazing platform for me to perform on, and as many as other performers. So
yeah,
just
no,
a
I love the
daily
reminder. I love that. No, I think we all need it because sometimes we get caught up on that hamster wheel chasing the paper.
Exactly. When seriously, life is just more than that. It's really just about the connections that you make with people. It's about love. It's about community. It's all about that. And so when I say money don't rule me, it don't rule me, don't rule you, don't rule you, any of you.
It doesn't go anywhere with you when you move on to the next life.
It sure doesn't. It stays right here for somebody else to take care of. And you're like, what? How did? Whatever.
So you're looking forward to Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen?
I am. I'm excited. So please come out. Please come out Saturday, March 3rd, and I'll be with my other sisters. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited because I've actually been watching Kathleen and the team put this event together for so long, and I'm excited that I'm finally going to be a part of it. I've been here for about 4 years in the city, so I'm like...
Well, welcome, and thank you for giving us a taste of what to expect on Saturday. And you guys, for more Carla G, you can visit carlagmusic.com. And once again, don't forget Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen Volume 11 is taking place on Saturday, March 3rd from 2:30 to 5 at Hostel Center for the Arts and Culture. However, they recommend you get there early because it's going to be full and you're going to have a great time. Yeah. And for more information, you can visit mhhk.org. That's mhhk.org. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor, and happy Black History Month. This is the last time I'll be able to say that on a Friday. Next up is Happy Women's History Month. In the meantime, adios.